Be
Nix,
live, be
this
live, be
is new.
live, be
Nix,
live.
Nix, you're not normally here on time. This is new. So is this like a 2021 kind of state of mind or something? You know?
Wait, what's going on? Is Fabinho? I mean, is Henderson playing centre back?
Centre back, yeah.
Who?
That
Yeah.
Henderson.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Come on, Danny
Look,
Ings, man. Come on, Danny Ings.
They'll win, man. Liverpool will win. Do you know how sick it is? Like, we should be celebrating Oli getting sacked, but now Nix is actually like now talking with his chest up about a title and so forth.
Yeah, the thing is,
Life is sick.
the thing is, but I told you when you were telling me, oh, every week, what's Oli? Oli is the job. I'm like, why are we doing this? He's not going anywhere right now. He needs time, etc. And here we are.
Speaking of going somewhere, I know who needs to go somewhere very, very far away.
Who would that be? Who's that?
I don't know, just some dude, Francisco Lampardio.
If that was his name, you wouldn't be on his back.
Yeah.
If that was his name, you wouldn't be on his back.
If that was his name, a lot of the Chelsea fans would be calling for the sack, say F Lombardio, F Lombardio. So what's guys? How's everything? How's your weekend? How's everything? How are you looking forward to Tier 5, man? Because Boris is about to say what's up in an hour's time.
Man, I don't leave my house anyway.
Let's
go and work.
I've been working from home anyway, so
No, like seriously, like this is the first time I've left the house in about like 5 days, and fuck, man, there's nobody around.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody on the streets, man. Because I had to go and get some food and some supplies. There is nobody around, man, and just shop closed, closed down.
As long as football is still on, then I'm good. Because let's be honest.
But then imagine if football stops.
Well, then that's a problem.
The best thing I've done in this lockdown was purchase Football Manager.
Bro,
and have a baby.
Oh,
probably baby.
Try to slip that one in.
Yeah. I think no. Basically, this is the time of Football Manager. This is the time where you need to just go in on that. Basically, I've got my Uncharted 4. I've got my Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've got my Animal Crossing. Football Manager. We're gonna go in, and also films as well. Like film. What's it called? Did I tell you guys I watched Ninja Scroll for the first time?
Bro, we need to have a conversation about that.
That film.
We need to have a conversation about that. That's
amazing.
Classic.
That
classic.
film is freaking amazing, man. That film is amazing.
I told you about it a long time ago.
It's an anime.
And I know, just like it took me time to watch it. So, guys, because obviously the Liverpool game starts top of the hour, so let's try and get this up before the 8 p.m. kickoff.
I keep hearing beeping.
You say Liverpool game, it's more the Southampton game for you because you're in a race for Europa League.
Javan, kick it, man. Kick this in. Let's talk about freaking Francisco.
What is that?
Yeah, I keep hearing it. Is that you?
I told Javan he's like in a control center. Javan, kick this intro, man. Javan,
the
kick this intro.
Wait, what's the noise that it's making?
And put in. Kick the intro. Javan, can you play the intro?
Golly, I'll try to get that sorted. Witchcraft. I think I want to start there before we go into the main topic right now. Guys, welcome. Remember, guys, like the vid, subscribe. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Like the vid, and don't cheat on your wife or your girlfriend because we're going into a lockdown. So if you cheat on your wife or your girlfriend, you're going to be alone masturbating by yourself. So, witchcraft, wizardry. Things have changed. Because as we now approach this Premier League thing, I've been lied to. I have been sold a lie on many fronts. And I've been sold 2 lies, but let's just go to the first lie. I was promised a Christmas Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacking. I was promised a Norwegian PE teacher. Now, I think that they are cheating. But for some reason, somehow, some in Manchester United have somehow meandered and somehow coerced their way into an actual title race. Liverpool dropping points, United getting wins, one of which was a deflection, which shouldn't really count. And they've now found themselves in a title race. So
this is easily one of the craziest seasons we've seen, because when you look at the table, there are guys who have games in the hand. There are guys, you have 4 or 5 teams on the same points. You have several teams who are 3 points behind. So it is a crazy, crazy season because the schedule is so crazy because of COVID. Guys playing matches, guys not playing matches, or so forth. But I think the first question to start off with is, are Man United realistically in a title race? So forget about the mathematics. Realistically, if we were to fast forward to February or March, do we believe that Manchester United will realistically be in a title race, or is it just a flash in the pan? So, Devil, what do you make of Man United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's title credentials?
I think I said a couple of
Nick,
weeks ago
stop
that
smiling.
Man United were in the title race. I think I said that a couple of weeks ago. Said, Man United are in this. They want to run a form. They got the players who can propel them forward. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as much as disrespect that he gets, and I say it every time I come on it, we need to start respecting this guy.
No, we don't.
And the news that come out today about him making changes to the backroom staff and everything like that, if I was a Man United fan, I'd be like, yes, this shows that he wants to improve, because I'm not in any way, shape or form comparing him to Fergie. But when you look at what Fergie did year after year, he made changes. He made little changes behind the scenes to make sure that they continue to stay fresh. They have new ideas. Solskjaer is doing that. So they're doing well, and he's still getting people involved to say, look, how can we get better? What can we do? Blah, blah, blah. So I think Man United will be there or thereabouts at the end. Will they win the league? I'm not going to stick my neck out and say yes, but they're definitely in the race, and I think they will be there until around the 31 game mark. And then they may fall off, and we may see City and Liverpool continue, or they might push until the very end. But I don't see them winning the league, personally. I think Liverpool and City are a bit too strong.
Javan, what about you, man? I want to come to you first because I want to leave the witchcraft merchants last. Do you see Man United realistically in a title race, or do you think that they will fall by the wayside and be the Man United, the boy chest divided that we expect them to be?
Just a quick one. Is it still beeping?
No.
Okay, cool. If it starts beeping, if it starts again, let me know. Manchester United, it's mad because I didn't see this coming. I don't know what to say. It's all in all. But 1 minute Tottenham were leading it. 1 minute Aston Villa were leading it. Everyone's leading it here or there. So I am not going to say anything just yet. If what the other months have taught me is that we should just wait and see. Man United could well and truly be in it. They might be. They actually might be. But we have to wait and see. I'm shocked because of how it started. But these things happen. Teams fall off. Teams not fall on, but improve over time. Like for instance with Chelsea, we started then we got, and then now we're falling off. So and Man United, they started very poor, and now they're getting there. Whether be it VAR or whatever help they're getting, the results are there. At the end of what matters is the 3 points, and they got it. Whether it's after the full-time whistle was blown or whatever the case may be, that's just the world that we're living in right now.
Wait, what's the I heard the little beep again.
You had the beep again. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change something.
Knicks now, Knicks. I want full transparency here, and I want full truth here. I want you to take off the Manchester United fans cap, and I want you to be a professional football dugout member. How have Man United been able to do this when weeks ago Solskjaer was supposed to be in for the sack? We were laughing at him after the Red Bull Leipzig win. So is it a case of Solskjaer is improving as a manager? Is it a case of the players are improving? Is it a case of they've just managed to find some form? Or is this actually something real? The kind of believe in the process, believe in the time. This is now Solskjaer finally taking Manchester United in the right direction. What is it truly? Flash in the pan or a realistic upward trajectory?
When you say we were laughing at Man United, are you speaking French? We? Who's we? You and your cronies. They called me a madman. They really did. I've sat on this dugout and I've spoken about cultural rebuild, and you laughed at me. You and your cronies laughed at me Thank God we moved from the Have Hope Football Hut onto a bit more of a sane channel where I can get some which I big up to all you lot in the comments. But I tell you, you lot said, I said he's making them know it.
I have no cronies, just truth seekers. Thank you.
I said he's trying to teach them what it means to play for Manchester United. When I said turning up to a match day in a suit as opposed to going in a tracksuit, that was a part of it. You laughed at me. You called me a madman. You thought that I was just trying to defend Solskjaer by any means necessary. No, I don't have loyalties to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. My only loyalty is Manchester United. And what I find very, very funny now is those people who are supporting, we'll get onto those, but supporting struggling managers now are reverting, or shall I say, they're reverting to the rhetoric used to defend Solskjaer, which they so criticized at the time in terms of trusting the process and giving the manager time, etc., etc. No. You didn't agree with it back then. Don't try and use it now to support your guy. Find something else to support your guy, because trusting a process, believing in a manager, giving a manager time to build and develop wasn't something you were willing to do when it came to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So don't try and use it for your struggling managers now. As far as Man United go, it's not a flash in the pan. Title race.
How do you know that? You're not Nostradamus.
I'll tell you why. A title race isn't purely dependent on yourself. Unless you're going to win, like the Man City and Liverpool have done in the past 3 years, 34 plus games a season. They've won even more than that, but 30 plus games a season. A title race depends on, obviously, those around you. If you drop points, you need others to drop points. Man United, for me, are in a position in terms of points tally where I expect us to be. In terms of league position, no, because Liverpool and Man City, based on the last 3 seasons, usually have more points. But that's not my concern. We can't concern ourselves with everyone else. We can only do our own progression. And from 66 points last year, which when you really split it, you look at pre-Bruno Fernandes and post-Bruno Fernandes, the form we are on now is very, very consistent for approaching 12 full months. So it's not a flash in the pan. We are talking about steady progression and consistency from the moment Bruno Fernandes arrived up until this day. What's transpired this season is that the performances and the level of performances and results that the likes of Liverpool and Man City were getting in the last 3 years, which I always said was unsustainable. You can't go season after season 100 points. Man City dropped off last year and got 86, I think it was. Liverpool got 97 and 99. They're not going to go 100 again. It doesn't work like that. Football's never worked like that. Even when we won our 3 in a row, the rivals closed in a season after the double, the second one. So our concern was improving and keeping the form that we had since Bruno Fernandes arrived and waiting for the inevitable drop. Now, whether Liverpool have dropped more than we expected, Man City are at a similar level that they were last year in terms of points. We're just in and around doing what we need to do. And if everyone wants to drop off and fall off to allow us in the title race, thank you very much. As I said, if we got a 1 game each before we play Liverpool. So they're playing Southampton today. We're playing Burnley next week. As long as we match their result, we go into that game at Anfield with no pressure. All the pressure's on them. Could we go level on points? They've got the home record. They're the title holders. They are the favourites. We have got no pressure at all.
Yes, you do.
As long as we match their result against...
no, they don't. No, they don't. There's no pressure. Pressure will be on Liverpool.
And if we come out of that game at Anfield, having not been battered 4-0, 5-0, even if we lose 2-1, for me, we're in the title race. That's halfway through the season, 3 points off the top, we're in the title race.
So can I just say this, obviously, before we move on to the... Javen has disappeared. So before we move on to the next thing, can I just say that it would be an absolute disaster for a lot of people, specifically on the Twitter platform, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer lifts up the Premier League trophy. That would be a nightmarish outcome.
I would laugh.
It would be a nightmare. Based on what everyone has said, the image of him actually lifting it, basically, it would crumble. It will cause a flipping seismic tectonic shift.
When I say, people think I just say stuff for the sake of it. I'm a Man United fan. Of course, I have my bias, But I also want what's best for the club. So I'm not just going to blindly support a man like some people are doing for, as I said, other struggling managers.
We'll get there.
But when I said Solskjaer, yes, people say, oh, who's better, Solskjaer, Arteta, Lampard? And then they'll say, and I'll say, well, Solskjaer's been managing for 10 years. I think I trust him a bit more. There's something a bit more to go. Oh yeah, but where's he been managing? Molder, da. But then on the flip side, they're like, well, he's been managing for 10 years. He should be winning more. So you're either gonna take his experience in the lower leagues seriously as experience, or you're not. And if you take it seriously, he won Molder's first league title in God knows how long.
Yeah,
the experience of managing players. Forget the technical side of it, because a lot of managers, they don't even really coach. You have coaches to do that when you're a manager. The side of the part of managing players is something that Solskjaer has excelled in so far at Manchester United, and for me, that is the reason why we're seeing the progression. Because the ability of the players, let's be honest, have never really been in question, even pre-Solskjaer coming in. It was about how they were being managed. Mourinho's man management, falling out with players, losing dressing room. Solskjaer's had to deal with all of that. Get rid of the people who were upset in the dressing room. Bring in characters, of course, good footballers, but characters who can keep a homogenous dressing room. You got someone like Bruno Fernandes. People might say, oh, there's better technical players out there, can do this, that, whatever. When the media came out and said, oh, Bruno wants to leave, he's not happy with Solskjaer's training methods, he came out and absolutely blasted the media. So don't ever use my name to try and bring down Manchester United again. It's the characters that Solskjaer knows that Man United needs, which I've been trying to speak about for ages. And people are now realizing, not even about, I told you so, but I'm just saying, I wasn't saying it for the sake of it. I said it for a reason.
Okay, so Arsenal. I'll keep it real with you, man. I remember when Arteta was hired, and then I was like, isn't too good. Then Devil said that, well, he has been working next to Pep for some time, and he did have quite a major contribution towards Pep rather than just putting out all the cones. But I was like, Arsenal, based off the Wenger situation, how Emery left and so forth, I think they need an experienced hand to really rebuild. A guy that has never been a manager before. Yes, some people have never been a manager before. This is risky. He comes in, it's okay, up and down. Then he gets the FA Cup. Damn. Then he gets the Community Shield against Liverpool. Okay. So I'm like, geez, maybe this Arteta thing is actually going to work. Then, again, this is what happens, man, especially in your second stint. Losing form, losing games, things are going crazy. He seems to have Aubameyang, since he signed the contract, seems to be on the decline. Everything was going crazy and going mad. And it was genuinely a thing of where I say, man, you may need to sack him now to avoid even the potential of a relegation battle. I never said Arsenal would get relegated, but again, when Newcastle got relegated, people were like, no, there's no chance Newcastle will get relegated. That's not never happened. They're too big to go down. Same thing with Leeds. They're too big to go down. You're never too big to go down. But prior to the Chelsea game, it was thought that Chelsea going to get that ass. Chelsea just going to get that ass. I was like, popping bottles and everything. Everyone's like, we'll pop those bottles down, blah, blah. Yeah, cool. Ever since that game, we'll get to Chelsea. Arsenal have just been on a crazy winning run. I really believe that Bukayo Saka, who should have been a Nigerian, by the way, but it is what it is, one of the best players of his age in the Premier League, and the team have just found a spark, and they've just found a crazy life of form, and it seemed that we're almost hovering over relegation right now, and now 6-7 points from top 4. So I want to come first to Nix on this, man, because I want Devil to anchor this. So first to Nix, what do you think has been the recipe to Arsenal's rejuvenation? Was it really that Chelsea game? Was it just a case that, look, it was only a matter of time? So what do you think was really behind them just sort of finding the spark when these guys were completely hopeless prior to the Chelsea game?
First and foremost, if I can get back, I think that we have to take time with Arsenal. We can't say that they're back or anything just yet. Very good win against Chelsea, good performance. But in the same breath, Chelsea are also in a bit of a rut themselves. The 4-0 win against West Brom, impressive in the way they played, very impressive. But again, it's West Brom. The Brighton game could have gone either way. It really could have. And if they had lost that game or dropped points, it would have rendered the Chelsea game pretty much useless. But I think winning becomes like a bit of it's just a bit of a habit. So you win a game, if you can get over the line the next one, they got over the line against Brighton, then it gives a bit more confidence. Now I think the dropping of Pepe and Willian is and another just the dropping of them, because you could have dropped them and brought in, I don't know who your other players are. You could have just played Aubameyang, Lacazette, and I don't know, Kolasinac at left wing back. God knows, I don't know what the options you've got these days. But kind of just trusting the youth and just saying, you know what, these men are not performing, but at least you young people, even if you're not as good, and some of them are, most of them are, to be honest, but even if you're not as good, you're at least you're gonna give me everything. You're gonna fight. You're gonna give me all the energy. You're gonna leave everything on the pitch, and hopefully, once you do that, your ability then comes out on top. If Martinelli gives everything, then is he better than Trossard? If Saka gives everything, is he better than Connolly? If Emil Smith-Rowe gives everything, is he better than Morpie, etc., etc.? Those are what you have to do. And if you're not working 100%, you're always susceptible to lose games and if you drop performance. And Arsenal been dropping performance. Now the Chelsea game, of course, is a big spark, but I think it's more the energy of youth and the players actually giving 100%. Him playing players that are going to give 100% at all times has led Arsenal to win 3 games in a row. But as I said, they're not out of the woods yet. They're really not, because it might only take a loss here or a loss there, and then their form and their confidence goes down. So they just have to try and keep on this path. I think who's their next game? I think it's got a pretty easy game next, if I'm correct.
Newcastle.
Newcastle? Yeah. It's a winnable game. It's a winnable game. So you win that game, it's 4 in a row. You're in the top half. For me, I always said, and I always say it, give a manager to the end of the season and judge him there, unless you are in a position where you could get relegated. Now, I was like, we'll see at the end of December, if he's sitting in 17th, 18th, then you might have to pull the trigger. For him, luckily for him, it's not the one, I'm not making the decision, but luckily for him, he won against Chelsea, he won against Brighton, you didn't have to pull the trigger. For me, you give him to the end of the season and you judge him from there. And I said the same thing about Arteta, and I'll say the same thing about Francis L. taking pure L these days.
All right, Jay?
Arsenal. We actually literally have just given them, I don't know, quality today is mad with the equipment. We've actually given Arsenal a whole lease of new life. I don't understand. We played them, we were supposed to win, like H said, and here we are. 3 points closer to them. They're on form. The West Brom game is West Brom. And obviously it happens, fans are going to get gassed. Arsenal fans are gassed. I see them talking up on Twitter and saying all sorts. I'm just like, let's just calm down. You guys were just almost battling relegation. It can happen again. Like, what could it? Are you really saying that Willian and Pepe were the problem? It couldn't have been. For me personally, it couldn't have been, because you replaced what? You brought in Emil Smith-Rowe and Martinelli. Okay, Martinelli. Okay, let's just say you brought those two in. Could them two really be the difference? Can they really keep that energy that you guys need going forward? Like, I don't know. For me, I don't know where it all clicks for them. I know we lost to them, but surely that's not enough. Like that, who knows, man? Who knows? But either way, surprised me. And if they can keep this up, then good on them. Good on them. But for me personally, the way how this season's going, they'll probably fall back off again. It's just like a breath of fresh air, breath of life. It'll fall off.
All right, so Devil, going to the Chelsea game, do you really think it was really that Chelsea game sort of led the spark? Or was it a case of that Chelsea game was inconclusive, you would have still been able to beat West Brom or Brighton. Because my thinking is, I really do feel that bringing in those young guys in, and the manner and the fact that you beat Chelsea, when let's be real, Chelsea were heavy favorites going into that game, even if they were playing badly. I think Chelsea won their game previous to that game. So do you think it was all about that game, and that game was the one that sort of just caused like a feeling of belief permeated through the entire squad, or you maybe don't put that much feeling into the Chelsea game really being the catalyst to this run?
Before, when we did the dugout before the Chelsea game, we had a run of we looked at the fixtures, and everyone said, where can you see the win coming from? Because you're not going to beat Chelsea, this, that, the other. And I said, all it takes is one result and one performance to spark a team back into life. So you could be struggling. It takes one performance, one result, and look what's happened since. We've won 3 on a bounce. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to go on a run up the table, but it means the confidence is back, that's massive. There's confidence to place the negative aura around the club has kind of been lifted. And we've got players who actually want to play now and are enjoying their football. I'm not going to talk too much about Arsenal because we don't talk about mid-table sides or relegation sides. So I didn't even know.
Unless you want to.
I didn't even know we were going to talk about Arsenal.
Unless you want to.
So when I gave the thing
always...
before, Arsenal weren't in the docket. They weren't there. So I didn't even know we was going to have this conversation. So all I will say is that run of results has now put us in a good position where if we beat Newcastle, we're looking very comfortable in and around the position where I said we was going to finish around 7 or 8, but we can really start to look towards pushing on. And January now, with the transfer window being open, if we can get the players that Arteta wants in and ship off players that we don't want, so Kolasinac is gone already. If we can get rid of others to free up space for players who actually want to play for Arsenal and who Arteta actually wants and believes in and can play within his system, now that he's changed the system back to a 4-2-3-1, which is what got us the results that we've got, because we now have the players in place to play that. Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Lacazette. Lacazette looks like a whole new player now that he's got players around him who are actually making moves, who actually want to get ahead of him and want to join the attack. So we're looking decent, but as much as you could get one result that creates a spark, one bad result can send you back into that whole negative feeling around the club again. So we have to be careful. We can't go into games thinking, we're going to win this because we're Arsenal. I was having a conversation with someone on Twitter today about the type of players that we're being linked with, and Brendan saying that we had players like Cesc Fabregas, Nasri and all this, and that was only good enough to get us fourth, this, that, the other. I was like, but times have changed. We're no longer that team. We're a big club in name only at the moment. In performance, in the way that the club is run, we are not a big club. We have to get ourselves back into that conversation. And we can't go and, we were lucky to get Partey, to be honest. He's a massive player. But we're not going to be able to sign Thomas Partey's over and over again unless the performance on the pitch warrants us being able to sign these players. So I think it's a big month for us this month, to be honest. So let's see where we end up.
All right. Fuck.
Wait, hold on. Before we get into that, I'll just like to say, everyone here, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit subscribe. We are so close. Hold on, let me pull up where we're at. We're on 932. We're so close to the 1,000. Help us get there. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Send it to your friends, families, goats, cats, anything. Just get it out there.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever they have in it. Animal, just subscribe.
All the goats that Ollie sacrificed to be with me.
No. Just hit that subscribe. We're almost there, guys. Just hit that sub button so we can.
And then we can pop those bottles down.
When we get to 1,000, you get a link to Have Hope's OnlyFans account.
Yep, trust me. Yeah, and guys, trust me, man. Okay, hairy chests, sexy body and so forth. The ladies love it, man. This is a lady killer right here. My OnlyFans, man, it's popping off, man. A new post is coming up tonight, right now. Only it's NSFW. When we hit 1,000, I will do that. Okay.
But make sure you do all that. Remember to keep a lookout for that Amazon gift card code. Keep a lookout for it. Once you see that code, you can redeem it. You just never know when it's gonna drop, but you just have to keep watching, keep looking. It could be in any video, so keep a lookout for that.
So keep a lookout for that, man, guys. Remember, sub, like, man. And thanks, guys, for the support, man. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for the support.
This is what I've been waiting for.
Oh, Knicks, grow up. Knicks, grow up. You're a grown man. Grow up. Mature. There's a civil war. That's happening. So in case you don't realize, there's a civil war that's happening, and it's pretty vicious, and the Chelsea fan base is pretty much split. It's been ruptured. That was a painful beating. That was really bad. And even as I was walking back from the market, I was thinking to myself that, like, Man City really GTA'd. They really got that ass, And because there's so many ways to start with this, but let's just start here. Let's start here. The players or the manager. So all of you guys, we all watched the match and so forth. A group of people are saying that the players just aren't very good. The players are not playing very well. The players underperformed. And 100% they did. But another part of it is who puts out these players. And as a player, you're just one man on the pitch. So you are reliant on the blueprints and the foundation that the manager gives to you. Because you can't be 4 or 5 players. So you are reliant on, okay, when I have the ball, who is in position and where they're positioned. When we don't have the ball, how are we positioned? Are we told to press? Are we told to go back? You are dependent on the instructions that your manager has given you. So obviously, Jay, being the Chelsea man, I want you can anchor this. So first to Devo on this. From that performance in that game and just how badly Chelsea got outplayed, is it a case of the players are to blame and the players let down Lampard? Or would you say that Lampard's management and tactics and instructions are to blame for that watershed beatdown that they received?
You know what? I'm going to blame Lampard. The reason being, you look at the team that he put out, and then look at the tactics that were used in the game. Bare crosses, 6'4" Giroud's on the bench. You got Timo Werner out front. That don't make no sense. You're struggling. You're down by quite a deficit at halftime. Make no changes, no offensive changes. You wait till I think 15 minutes left or something to bring on Havertz to try and get some creativity. I think for me, Frank Lampard, and I said this at the beginning of the season. So now I feel vindicated in my Lampard agenda. He will be sacked by the end of the season. I said that at the end of last season, beginning of this season. I said there's no way he makes it to the end of the season because he's not big enough. He's not good enough for Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea Football Club are about winning trophies. And even Sarri, who got sacked, won a trophy, a European trophy no less. Got to a final of another one, League Cup. Lampard come back with nothing. Nothing apart from I'm a club legend. That's it. So how long is that going to last you? So for me, I think where he lets himself down, his substitutions are usually poor. His team selections are usually poor. And the only time it really comes together is when his big individual players have big individual performances, or they're playing against a side who are clearly inferior to them, where Chelsea should win these games. But when they're playing against the big sides, generally his tactics let him down. And I think you can blame the players because obviously you have very good players in the team and you'd expect them to perform better than they did. But I do believe that the tactics don't allow them. There was an incident as well. I think it was for Man City's third goal, the free kick. Ziyech took the free kick and then Kante back on his own. On his own. So when Kante has gone forward to try and win the ball, which he probably shouldn't have done, unless he's just going to kick it out in the stand because he knew he was the last man back. So maybe that's poor from Kante. But that shouldn't happen at the top level. There's no way that should happen. I know you're chasing the game, you're 2-1 down, but to have one single solitary player back when you know the pace of Man City have in their team, that's just schoolboy errors. That's like what Man United did in the Champions League against Istanbul. It's very similar goal to concede. For me, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. So I blame Lampard, and I can't see Lampard seeing this one out. He'll be gone by the end of the season.
Knicks.
Yeah,
He's
man.
left the building.
We're gonna pop those bottles
Oh
down.
my
Pop those bottles
god.
down. Woo! We're gonna pop.
This ain't Ribena, folks. This is red wine as well. So, yeah.
Have a drink for the fallen homies and all that. Listen.
This man is sick, man.
Hey, there's a few teams that I don't like in it. I don't like Liverpool. So small me up. I need to see Havertz's face when I say all this.
Let's just small me up.
I don't like Liverpool. I don't like Arsenal. Arsenal are banter FC. Like the reason why they're banter FC is because their fans make it so. You know, all the reactions and videos, etc., etc. But boy, I'm loving this because Chelsea fans are so arrogant. They're so arrogant. I love the demise. As Splashnet said in the comments, Chelsea got malnourished, nuked, euthanized, penetrated, spat on, castrated. You name it. Carly Greens, Billy's hair, you name all of that. Listen, I'm telling you. I hope Lampard gets sacked. You know, I don't wish joblessness on anyone, especially in these times. But you got people like Kevin K in the chatting the most wass. Look at that. He's chatting so much wass. And you have spoken so much crap at the start of the season, winning the damn transfer window. And you thought you had it. Look at HH can't even say anything. Look at him. Oh, I love it. I love it because that's what you just talk. You talk so much. You have been spoiled by Abramovich, and you think that you deserve the right to everything that you claim that we're the biggest team here, we're the biggest team there. You're not even the biggest team in London. Let's be honest. Arsenal are banner FC, and they're bigger than you. We've spoken about the size of clubs. I'm going to go over that. But as far as Lampard goes, last season, he was being compared to all and sundry because, he's playing some young players because he had to, because he's an English manager at a big club, because he managed Derby to 6th in the Championship, and now they're down at the bottom of the table. So he must have done a good job.
But that was partly his fault. Because he brought in a lot of aging Premier League stars on big contracts and kind of just crippled them.
There's one thing that Chelsea fans can't say. They can't say that he has not been backed. Arsenal fans can say Arteta was not backed. Man United fans can say Solskjaer was not backed. You Chelsea fans believed he had been backed because you said you got the greatest squad, the best transfer window. All we need to fix our defense. We just need a new goalkeeper. You got all of that. And the man can't beat a team in the top 10. The man cannot beat a team in the top 10. So, yeah, this is Lampard's fault. This is all Lampard's fault. He doesn't absolve the players of, their own blame. But when you got Kante's looking like bloody Danny Drinkwater. Where is he, by the way? Where is Danny Drinkwater?
He's kicking up reserves, kicking up 16-year-olds in the reserves.
As I said, N'Golo Kante ain't been the same since Pogba carried him in that World Cup final. He ain't been the same.
Relax.
The man has been demasculated since then. And he's a shadow of his former self. When Sarri was playing Kante in a box-box position, you all called for him to be in the defensive midfield. Lampard moves in there, and you lot are complaining, why is he playing him there? You lot don't even know what you want. You're too spoiled, and you deserve everything you're getting. Lampard in.
Lampard firmly in.
Javan, it's all mad, Jay.
I don't know anymore, man.
Oh, but maybe you need 5 subs. If you get 5 subs, maybe it can be better. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck Sheffield United.
Maybe if we did have 5 subs, we would be better. Now shut up, man. Who the hell do you think you're laughing at, man? Who do you think you're laughing at? Like you just weren't in a relegation battle. And look at you, Neeks. You laugh now. Neeks. You laugh now because you ain't going anywhere. Just remember. You ain't going anywhere.
Nix, that song is trademarked, man. All right, okay. I gain royalties from that song, lad. So
listen,
please.
I don't care what team you like or what team you don't like. I couldn't give a damn right now. The issues here is Lampard. The job is just too big for him, isn't it? It's just too big for him, and that's what it is. And rival fans like you are always gonna make always gonna have something to say. It's always gonna happen. But I'm not even concerned what rival fans have to say. Like, I don't. To be fair, right now, couldn't care less. The problem right now is that not Arsenal fans, our fans are having this big war with each other. Lampard should stay, give him time. Lampard should go. All of this, yes, this big fight. That is what really matters. And couldn't give a crap what Man United fans or Arsenal fans think. So you keep on trolling. It ain't bothering me. To go to it, the board are at fault here mainly because the board are at fault. I'll tell you why the board are at fault. I made a tweet
Lampard in the first place. I agree.
Yes, the board are at fault for them to be in this position right now because they wouldn't be. Hold on, I don't know why my thing ain't charging. It's about to shut off. The way how they back Lampard with what the heck is going on here with the 200 mil?
Sounds like Lampard in the changing room.
Lampard, what the hell is going on?
So the way, listen, what was I saying? The board got themselves to blame because they backed Lampard with his 200 million. Everyone's saying, "Oh yeah, it's different circumstances. We had 200 mil to spend, and all of that." I don't give a crap about all of that. That means nothing right now. Yeah, the board has that money to spend, whether or not it's from a transfer window or whatever. If you, man, had just backed Conte, like how hold on, Neeks. If you, man, had just backed Conte,
Here we go.
Hold on. I will tell you why I say that. If you, man, had just
But you've had another manager between then. It's not like...
Okay, yeah, to be fair, hold on. No, Neeks just said something about bringing it up. Okay, I wasn't going to bring that up, but I would say if we had backed Conte like how we had backed Lampard, we'd be in a better position. And I'll tell you why. There was this chart that brought out all the managers, their win rates for Chelsea.
Lampard has the worst win rates so far.
And Lampard has the worst. Now, if you look at after we sacked Conte, we got Sarri. His win rate wasn't that, he was down there. Then you look at what you call it, Lampard now, and it's just down and down. Last good manager we had was Conte. And if you'd backed him, we wouldn't be in this position now. We wouldn't have had to hire Sarri. You wouldn't have had to hire we wouldn't have to go through all of that we did with him. And then we wouldn't have had to have Lampard. Now, who knows what would have happened? Who knows? But I'm just saying we would not be in this position. The man, and I don't understand Chelsea fans. They say Conte got us 5th. The last season was awful. Yet Lampard is doing worse. And all I'm hearing is, oh no, trust Lampard. It's okay. So I'm so confused on what is going on here.
No,
wait, everyone forget. They all forget.
Javen, do you know how things truly ended with Conte, though?
No, I understand that. The board screwed him, so he screwed them over. I do not condone that. I don't.
No, I get what you're saying about Conte, but the thing about Conte that it was always going to end like that because he was at war with the board.
I hear that.
And once you go to war with them, it's only going to end one way.
To be fair, he's lucky he got out of there alive.
But this is the point that I'm trying to make. The board are so willing to back Lampard and do everything for this man. Why couldn't you do that with Conte? Conte won you the title.
He came fifth.
No, but that's the thing.
And sent Costa that text.
This is the problem. This is the problem.
Management.
Okay, I'm just saying this is the problem. Lampard has come 4th in his first season with a transfer ban, and where he's now in his second season. Yes, he can turn it all around. Who knows? I'm not saying he will. But if he doesn't, it'll be worse. He's already worse. He's already bad. So I don't understand why all these people are defending him. But Conte became 5th, and that was only because of war with the board and everything that's going on. He came 5th, and everyone's like, "Oh, Conte is this, he's that." The man, it's like they forgot that the man won them the Premier League in his first season. So I don't really get why fans are backing Lampard so hard, but are willing to forget what Conte done in the first season.
He's a club legend.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean. But like Have Hope said, that doesn't mean he's a great manager.
You got to give respect to your club legends, man.
No, yeah, I respect you on the pitch.
Look at the way Man United respect Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You have to give respect to these people, man.
No, I hear what you're saying.
You see, my issue is
I hear what you're saying, but this is my problem that I have here. The board are to blame with this.
No, but okay. If the board sack Lampard tomorrow, I hear you. I do. But we don't know. The board never came out and said Lampard must do X, Y, Z this season. We don't know exactly what their expectations are of Lampard this year, because when you hire a manager who's had 1 year at this level of football, you can't expect him to win the league after 2 seasons. You lot expected it.
I hear that.
Which is where the problem really lies.
It does. And Neeks,
way up there. Now, I'm not saying it excuses him to be 8th right now. Trying to turn around, I say give it to the season. But you lot expectation is that of if he had hired a Conte or a Jose or Angelo. Maybe they're trying to go in the wrong direction. Which but
Nix, it was the transfer ban though, remember?
No,
because
I hear you.
It was offered first to Terry, he rejected it, and then gave it to Lampard, because how many managers are going to come in for a season of a transfer ban?
So Terry was the first?
Yeah.
So they didn't actually go for did they go for a senior manager?
No, basically. They had a transfer ban, and from what I heard, John Terry was offered the role first. He said no.
So maybe they said, no, we want to go into a certain direction where we want to rebuild, etc., etc. But fans, other than the 1 season where you gave him a Bly, you were like, 1 season we give you a Bly, 2nd season win the title, and I'm just like, that's not.
I said this.
Chelsea fans had a really negative attitude towards the club. Like, it was all sorry. It was really negative. So for me, the Lampard thing was to try and get all the fans back on side, because club legend, they all get behind the club legend, and everyone's going to be like, yes, we're here for Frank. So that's why they went for Terry and Lampard, because they're 2 club legends. Yeah. Everyone's going to be back in the team, and it hasn't worked. Fair enough.
Yes, no, but no, but it's okay, but real quick,
wait, no. I'm saying, to go into what Neek said. I had said, what Nick said, I said in a couple shows back, or maybe even on a stream that you did, I said another problem is the fans are expecting Conte and what's his name, Mourinho type levels of performances from Lampard. So I don't understand why fans expect him just because he spent 200-300 mil. What does that mean? You can give me. What does that mean? This guy has had 1 year of experience before he joined Chelsea. How are you going to expect, just because he has 200-300 mil, that he's going to deliver? For me, I said, hold on,
you're going to win the league.
Oh no! So okay, wait, real quick.
I know, but I'm not talking about. I'm saying, I said, you know what? We've spent this type of money. We should be winning the league. And that's what I said at the beginning of the season. I said we were going to win the league. And from what the performances I've seen and how it's gone, I'm now saying, you know what? We're not going to win the league. That doesn't mean I expected Lampard to go. It's not going to be like, I'm Lampard out because he didn't win it. I remember, and I know that this man has only managed 1 team. So how am I going to be like, you need to go because the guy doesn't know what to do?
I want to ask you guys this. I want to ask you guys this, because this is basically to Lampard. This is the interview that's sort of going in the rounds on Twitter, which he gave afterwards. Because again, they were asking about the struggles and so forth, and then he was comparing how Pep started for Man City, and how Klopp started for Liverpool, and how that, all of these guys, that you have to go through pain in order to gain success and so forth. And I was trying to obviously explain to people there, saying that, it's a bit weird comparing yourself to these people. So to Nick's first man, try to enter into the mind of Lampard. Do you think that Lampard truly believes that he is the man to take Chelsea forward? Because I'm confused, because I am of the mindset that maybe he's just using Chelsea as a way to learn on the job and just introduce English youth and so forth. So what do you think his thinking is being in this job? Do you think that he truly believes that he can be on the level of a Pep and Klopp, or do you think that he does believe that no matter what, he will be given time? What do you think Lampard's thinking is with regards to what he believes he can do with this Chelsea team? Nix.
As I said, he called me a madman, innit? When I saw a video that your boy Daniel posted, he kind of retweeted today, Lampard in his first interview, and they were asking him about if he's gonna message or speak to any managers that he's played under, the world-class managers, and he's like, basically, no, I don't need to. I'm the boss. I can do this, basically. Yet Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is criticised for, speaking to Fergie and maybe Fergie holding his hand. You need to know your level, innit? And Lampard, I think, maybe got a bit too ahead of himself. The fact that because he's so inexperienced, you allowed, let's say, the board and the owner, you allow them to just fill your squad with world-class talented players. They're not world-class, but the world-class talented players, in the hope that it's going to work. Whereas a more experienced manager would have known that there's a way to build a team, and throwing all these players in at once it's not the way to do it. It's never worked. It's never been the case. No team ever has thrown all these players in and it's just clicked straight away. It's never been the case. So unless they've had a discussion to say that we know it's not going to be the case, I think he was naive to allow that to happen. But he's in a job where, he probably didn't even dream that he will get after his second year of management. So it's like, do you turn down XYZ players? Now he's under pressure. That I think he's starting to doubt himself, because when a guy hasn't scored for 13 games and you play him week after week after week, that tells me that you're just trying to, it's a hit and hope at that point. You're not thinking tactically. You're not thinking, I need to change something tactically, even if it means dropping a player here or there. Solskjaer is criticized for, why are you dropping Pogba for the big game? Why is Dan James playing? Because he believes in himself tactically. Whether he's right or wrong, the proof is in the pudding at 90 minutes or at the end of the season, whatever it may be. But he believes that tactically, this is what I need for this game. Whereas what I'm seeing from Lampard so far this season, especially, is this is the way I'm going to play, and these are the players I'm going to use regardless. It doesn't seem like there's much thought behind what's going on. You look at last season even, where he's like, this is the way we're going to play. And Chelsea were conceding goals left, right, and center. And everyone was just blaming Kepa. And I'm like, yeah, but how many shots is Kepa dealing with? At what point do they decide to coach defense? Why do you think just adding a goalkeeper and adding a centre-back is going to change that? Where is the tactical thought in managing a game? I don't see that with Lampard. I see this is the way I'm going to play, and players go out and do the job. And nothing has changed tactically from last season to this season.
Yeah, in-game management's poor, man. It's poor.
Oh.
But this is it. I mean, there is there's context to everything. You have to look at
Conte is third. See, it went downhill. We got sorry.
Aaron Grant.
No. We got sorry. Then we got Lampard. You see the management, it just went down. So we should have kept and backed Conte. That's all I'm saying, innit?
What I'm saying is, obviously, there's context to everything, innit? How good was his team compared to XYZ? But sorry, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And anyone saying that it is deluding themselves. Now, I'm not saying it can't get better, but no one can admit and say right now that a 49% win ratio is good enough. It's not. It wasn't good enough for Villas-Boas, regardless of the team. It weren't good enough for Di Matteo, even though he won the Champions League. It ain't good enough for Lampard. It's not. The players are better than that.
He's had more time than most of those managers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it the third? No, I misread that. All right. No, but the thing is with Lampard is everyone knew that he was inexperienced and everything like that. But you'd like to see improvement. And this is why, again, when everyone was saying that it was disrespectful to Lampard, saying if Chelsea did, it would be in spite of Lampard rather than because of him. It's because he hasn't shown any improvements in his in-game management, his tactical awareness. The thing with Werner, I'll give him a bit of blind Werner, because as a striker, you want him to get his confidence back. So if you take him out of the team, that might damage him more than all it takes is for him to maybe knock one in off his knee and it goes in the bottom corner and then boom, he's now up and running. And you want your strikers to score. But at the same time, you've got a striker on the bench who is scoring. I think he had the highest strike rate of any striker. I think last season or the last month or something like that. Oliver Giroud. And you won't play him. Every time he plays, he scores.
It's madness.
Like you have to play the hot hand. You're not in a position to be. You're not like Liverpool. We could drop Salah and bring in the next man. It's not going to make a difference because your team is that well oiled. Do you know what I mean? If the man's scoring goals, play him until he's not scoring goals. Then take him out and maybe Werner can come back in. See, things like that is that's going to sign his death warrant for me.
All right, so Jay, just round us off.
Wait, didn't I already say?
No. So basically, like for Lampard, future, do you think that he stays? Do you think that he'll be backed? Do you think that they're going to sack him? Like what happens with Lampard?
This morning when I couldn't sleep, I was chatting on Twitter to the name's gone from me, but I think he's on your show, The Complicated Chelsea.
Eddie.
Yes. But I was just saying, you know what? At this point, we sack Lampard, then who do we get in? Right now, there's a lot of fanboys going to. Is it Tuchel? And
no, that would not be a good sign. I hope you do get.
But this is what I'm trying to say. They're saying Tuchel and Nagelsmann. I'm like, well, first of all, Nagelsmann ain't leaving Leipzig right now to join Chelsea. So get that out of your head. It's just not happening.
Why not? Why not?
I just don't see it happening. Like we're in the middle of a season, COVID. It's possible, but it's I don't see it happening. 2, PSG just sacked Tuchel. Why do you want him? What has he? Where's his proven track record? He is managed in Uber Eats, and he's managed in
Dortmund.
Yeah. The guy is living off his Dortmund days. How do you know when you bring in him, he's going to bring the results the same as Lampard? Right now, if you're going to sack Lampard like right this minute, right this second, the person you're going to bring in has to be levels above him, and that's going to bring in instant success, or I won't say instant success, but the success that you want, or else you might as well just keep Lampard. Because let's say you bring in Tuchel or whatever his name is, you bring him in, and then it's the same thing. The results are dead. You know, you might as well have just kept Lampard. What is the what actually is the point? And
let me ask you a question, because the question
what's actually the point?
It's been asked and answered by big like Lampard fans, Chelsea fans, but Lampard inners. If he doesn't get top 4, is that a sackable offense?
Hell yes.
For Chelsea the thing is,
all right. If you were the owner and you brought in Lampard, or was that you took off from Abramovich tomorrow? You took off from Abramovich and said, "Jay, this is your club. Lampard doesn't get top 5. He finishes 5th. What do you do?"
Well, because of
with no trophy,
the direction that the club is going and the stature that Chelsea has, winning is key. So I can understand when you got people like HH that says Lampard needs to go because we're a club and we must win things. So I can understand when he says that, unless the board actually says, you know what, unless there's actually seen improvements with Lampard and he's actually getting better, and you want to go through a building process with him, then yes, you keep him. But if that's the case, it has to be.
Look, Jay, we have to run because I need to see this thing.
I know. Don't worry about that when we're in the show here. Don't worry about Liverpool right now.
My drink everywhere.
Still worry about that. Well, for me personally, it's up to the board, innit? They know what they're doing. They know what plans they have. But for us fans, we know what we want, and we want. You have to be in top 4, and there has to be a trophy. And if he doesn't deliver that, the fans are going to have his head, whether or not he's a legend.
I do think top not getting top 4 is a sackable offence.
Yes,
and I think that's the case for Manchester United as well. I think when you finish
because the clubs of our stature, they have to come in top
last year, especially you finished 3rd or 4th last year.
You can't regress, especially after spending 200 mil.
You can't regress. You can't regress, man.
So yes, it is a sackable offence.
Guys, please hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe, like, subscribe. So remember, Tuesday is going to be the non-football show from 10 p.m. Wednesday is the Bundesliga show. Wednesday,
Bundesliga show this week will be on top.
So Wednesday, Bundesliga show on the top. Remember, Thursday is the Q&A from 7 p.m. So remember, keep hold of everything and so forth. So guys, thank you for being with us. Thank you for the support. Peace out. Stay true. Stay real.
Lampard